So I am going to begin by applying my moisturizer. So I pretty much do the exact same steps that I do when I'm doing my high-end product version. It's the exact same thing. It just always works for me whether I use Drugstore or any other products. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my moisturizer. This one is the Derma E Vitamin C. And I use this one all the time, regardless if I'm doing drugstore makeup or high-end makeup, just anything. I always moisturize my skin. I do have dry skin, so for me it's just better to make sure that it's moisturized, especially my under eye area. And then I'm going to apply my primer. This one is the Bay Primer by Lottie London. I'm just going to shake it a little bit. And using a primer always helps your makeup just stick on better and last longer. This one is a water-based primer. It does not feel like that slippery feeling that other primers have, the silicone feeling. So I'm just going to apply it right here, but I do get it on my under eye area as well because I feel, like I said, that it sticks, that it helps the product stick on better. So the next thing that I'm going to do is apply my foundation. I do not apply anything on the under eye area. If I do, I just get a little bit close just to make sure that it blends in together, like the concealer with the foundation. But that's what I'm going to do first. That has nothing to do with the under eye, so I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and then I'll be back. So I decided that instead of doing both of my under eye areas, I am going to do one side first so that way you can see the difference. So I only applied the foundation on this side, and it's a very light foundation. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. I'm just going more for a natural look today. So the product that I have found that has worked the most similar to my favorite product, which is the Benefit Erase Paste, which is now called the Benefit Boing, is this one by NYX. This one is the NYX Dark Circle Concealer. And this one, I also got it in the number 2. I say also because my Benefit one is also in the number 2. And it is a pink primer. It is a pink concealer. So this one's the one that I use all the time, and let me show you the similarity in color and also how it looks. Like, it looks really similar inside, but they're not exactly the same. The formula of this one is a little bit creamier. This one's a little more tacky, just a little bit stickier. You do have to work a little bit more to spread it out and stuff. This one's just very easy to work with, but not everybody wants to spend $20 to $30 on a concealer. So that's why I was like super happy whenever I found this one. So all I'm gonna do is just take my brush, stick it in here. This is just a concealer brush. And like I said, I'm gonna do one eye. I just like to apply it down here. This one is a little bit thinner, a little bit stickier, but it does the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and apply it on the top too and on the inner corner. I always like to do the inner corner because that one always looks a little bit purpley, a little bit dark on me, and I like it to be all even so that way my eyeshadow looks all even. And then another thing that I do is apply it around my nose. I have redness around my nose, as you can see on this side. I have the foundation already over here, but I can still see the redness a little bit, so I like to cover that up. So now I'm just going to blend this out. And look at the difference already. What I like about these is that it's pink, and it makes, for my skin tone, it makes my skin just look so even on my under eye area and on my eyelid area. You can see the difference. Like over here you can see a lot of shadow. You can also see right here where my crease is. You can see a lot of shadow, and over here you can't anymore. It's just the correcting part. I haven't even done the highlighting part, and it already looks way better. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my concealer. This one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, and this one I use it for brightening. It is a little lighter than my skin tone, but I use it to brighten up the under eye area. I also like to apply it on the eyelid because I use concealer as my eyeshadow base. You can really tell the difference also, like on the side of my nose. Over here is red, over here is the exact same way as you saw at the beginning of the video. So it does hide my redness. And then underneath, I do have a little bit of hollowness on my under eye area, but that's normal on my face. Like, that's always there. I just don't want it to look as dark. And so that just helps me even it out. The correcting concealer just helps me even it out. And then the brightening concealer makes my eyes just look open and I look awake, and it just looks really nice and even. And you can see over here that my eyelid on top looks a little red. So if I were to just apply a straight up eyeshadow primer, you'd still be able to see that, and then my eyeshadow wouldn't look as nice and vibrant as it would on this side. So now I'm going to set my concealer, and I like to use a translucent powder. Sometimes I use my regular powders, but for Drugstore, I do like this one. This one is the Lottie London Ready Set Go, and it's the same brand as the primer. I do have several translucent powders from the Drugstore. This is just the one that I'm going to use today, and it is just a real translucent powder. Like, it doesn't have any tint to it. This is the way that it looks. It's just like white, very, very fine. And all I'm going to do is just take a little bit with my brush, dust it off, and apply it on my under eye area and also on my eyelid. Okay, so this is the end of it. Super, super simple steps. Very easy, but this is a difference between them. And it also just makes my makeup look so much better on my eyes, just because it's brighter, it's more vibrant. And then on this side, you can't see like the little veins that I have. Like, I have a little bit of green, a little bit of red, and then purple on my inner corner, like I do on this side. I don't have it anymore. And then the redness on my nose is always a big difference to me. Whenever I'm doing my makeup, I can always tell if I forget to apply my correcting concealer, because sometimes it happens. I'm like, dang, I forgot to apply it, and I can tell because I can see like the redness that I have around my nose. And so yeah, that's why I love this stuff. I love this step. I love the correcting part of it, and I feel like the NYX one is a great option if you're looking for a correcting concealer for your under eyes. They have different colors than these. This is number 2. They have a number 1 that's a little bit lighter for fair skin, and then they do have some other options after this one. So like I said, I'll have it linked below if you want to check them out. But this is like the best thing that I have found from the Drugstore that does a very, very good job when correcting my under eye concealer. I love this stuff. I know that a lot of brands have this type of correcting concealer, you know, in the little bottle with, it's just the exact same thing, the exact same formula, except it's pink. Those do not work for me. Those are too thin for me. I do not like them. They don't do the same thing, and they don't last as long. This, on the other hand, is more like a paste. It's a little thicker, it's a little bit stickier, it's just a little bit better. In my opinion, for my skin, it works out great. Like I said, I have dry skin, my under eyes do get dry too, and this one just looks perfect, and it is the Drugstore option that I prefer out of any other correcting concealer that I've tried. So, as promised, I wanted to show you the Drugstore version of how to conceal or correct your under eye circles, and this is it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!